Hi, and welcome to all new and returning viewers to episode 14 of the Herwoodian Crafter podcast. I'm Jutta. I'm coming to you from Tampere, Finland, and this is my podcast about knitting and sewing and crocheting and many kinds of crafting. Once again, it's been about 2 weeks since I last recorded. I'm a little bit sick, but I've tried to kind of medicate myself so I won't sniffle and cough all over. And once again, we're in my kitchen because for some reason the kid has been having some issues with falling and going down for his nap. It's a bit later in the day than I'm used to, and it's quite dark already. So as you can see, it's over 3 o'clock, and I've gotten used to him going down for his nap about midday or about 11 o'clock. No, not 11, no, 1 o'clock during the day. So, and it's gonna be like this for many months. So hopefully this lighting isn't awful for you. Also, I don't know how much time I have for the recording, so we'll see how this goes. But in the interest of getting things along and maybe doing this in one sitting, we'll dive right in. And I'm kind of mixing up the order because I think that so we'll start with acquisitions because many things that I'm going to talk about are going to be related to what I've been buying. So the Handicrafts Expo was a few weeks ago now, and once again it was a little bit overwhelming. I had a good time, of course. I didn't get as stressed out as I was afraid of this year, but yeah. I went to the meetup. I feel like I didn't really talk to anyone but my sister-in-law, but that was fun too. I did talk to a few people I didn't know. One of them was one of you viewers. You kind of exposed that you watch my podcast, and I'm so happy that I met you. The other one that I talked to was Mike. I'm sorry, the viewer that said that you were watching my podcast. I'm sorry I didn't catch your name, but it was so lovely to meet you. And the other one was Mike, and I know her name just because I got these earrings from her. She said that she didn't know my podcast and I'm not surprised because when I said that I would do my podcast in English, she said that that's probably why. But she had done these kind of handicrafted crocheted earrings. She was giving them around to people who do podcasts, and she was lovely to give me a pair of these earrings, even though she doesn't watch my podcast, and I was very happy. It felt very, very, very considerate. But yeah, I used up all of my budget. I could have used up a lot more of my money, but I'm very happy with the haul I got, which is relatively small compared to many other people I've seen do some haul bits. Maybe not about our Handicrafts Expo, but in general, this is probably a relatively small haul. But anyway, I feel like I got a lot of lovely things. So let's start with this one, because this is one of the ones that I really wanted to get my hands on. This is Petrichor yarns. The dyer is a friend of mine. This is 75% superwash wool and 25% polyamide, fingering weight, and the name of the colorway is puro, which means either a stream or a brook, so a small running river of water. And the colorway is really kind of lovely and springy. It's a little bit more yellow on screen, but that's just because of the lighting. This is really kind of lovely. And then there's some lovely darker green speckles here. I'm really excited to see how this knits up, and I already know the pattern, but more on that later. Then I bought, where's the yarn cake? Here it is. This is Buffalanka. The colorway name is Drama Queen. This is, I think it was 75% merino wool and 25% nylon or polyamide. So a sock yarn. And then you can just see there's a tiny hint of sparkles in there. So there's there's stellina, so I'm not sure how much, maybe 5%. I don't know what the tag is anymore, because as you can see, I've caked it up, and I've already started to knit on something with this. I'll show it to you in a few minutes. Then I bought picot gauge. This is for tatting. And the one thing that I had an issue with in regards to tatting is that I really would like to get the picots even, and I couldn't find anything that I could kind of easily use to get the picots to be the same size. And I haven't seen a product like this before sold anywhere. So these are just kind of a few different sizes. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different sizes, and with these you can kind of get an even size picots into the tatting lace. And since I got this, I've actually been doing a little bit of tatting just to kind of freshen my memory of it, but there's really nothing worth showing quite yet. So yeah, I was really happy. This was maybe a little bit too expensive. This is the package, so it's a clover product, and this is the packaging it came in. I added the little kind of this part chain. It's not really a chain, but anyway. And it was maybe a little bit more expensive than I would have liked for a product like this, but since I've never seen this sold anywhere, I thought, what the hell. Then one more thing was a book. This is the Beginner's Guide to Bobbin Lace, which I'm interested in. I'm not sure when I'm going to be trying my hand at it. I really kind of like how this starts out with just very simple kind of bookmarks. So these types of things. I don't even have the bobbins yet for this. They also instruct you on how to make the kind of pillow that goes underneath the lace, and how you make that kind of model for doing the bobbin lace. I don't have the bobbins yet. I probably will. I've seen some instruction videos that that use what is it? I will probably remember the word as soon as I hit stop on the record, but you can use these the snips that you use to hang your laundry outside. I'll probably add the word somewhere around here once I get around to it. But yeah, it starts with quite simple. Well, it doesn't look simple to me right now, but more simpler patterns, and then it gets to a bit more complicated ones, which are where. And I really like that it doesn't just use the kind of thin thread. They also have, this is a, I don't like the picture, but I like the idea. This is a bag, so the yarn is thicker than it has been with the bookmarks, and there's some kind of where you can kind of embellish couch cushions and just all kinds of things. So yeah, it might be a while until I get to try this, but it didn't cost that much, and I'm really kind of interested in trying it. So it was a good bargain for me. Then I also found a Finnish sewing pattern company, which so far I haven't found many of them, so I didn't buy any patterns from them, but I probably will at some point. The name of the company is Jujuna. They have a web address and they have PDF patterns, which I like. For some reason, it feels easier to kind of print them myself rather than actually waiting for post to bring the pattern to me. But yeah, I like them. I like the patterns because there was lots of variety. There were many collections, and they looked kind of simple, which is really quite my style. But they didn't have a lot. They had very kind of frilly patterns as well, or kind of patterns that I wouldn't say looked extremely simple, but they had a lot of variety also with more simple patterns, so I like that. And of course that it's Finnish. Then when I got home, I was itching to start using the buffalo yarn. I don't know what it is with this, but for some reason I really wanted sparkly socks for myself, and that's the main reason I did want to try some of buffalo yarn, but for some reason I also really wanted sparkly yarn, and of course I had to find a pretty pattern for that. So I found, well, I had heard about it before, but now the pattern collection was complete, so I bought the Nutty Gnome Crafts that had done the Magical Melodies collection, which is a reference to Harry Potter. And I think they had something like 4 or 5 sock patterns, and most of them were really lovely, so I bought the whole collection. And I only have a few, well, I don't want to say a few things that Black Friday got to me, but I will show the buffalo yarn is used on one of those Magical Melody sock patterns, so I will show that to you in a few minutes. But yeah, also, yeah, like I said, Black Friday got to me in the form of pattern sales. The first thing I actually really wanted was from the Deer and Doe website. I knew they had it was a PDF pattern, so I bought this. This is the Luzerne trench coat, and this will probably be, if I'm very kind of active with my sewing, this is something that I might be doing maybe in the spring. It will take me a while because this is they rate the difficulty of the sewing patterns by rating them from 1 to 5, and this is a 5, level 5 pattern. So it will take me a while, and when I looked at the instructions, it looked like quite a complicated thing to do. So it might take me a while as well. But I really wanted the pattern, and I'm not sure the the price reduction was something like, maybe, I think, 20 to 30%, as it was in all of these patterns. So I have it. I will be making it at one point. I don't know if it's during the spring or summer, or maybe even a year from now, but at some point. I like how it looks, and I liked the this is one version of my plantain shirts. So I liked the way the instructions were written out. So I think it'll be a nice experiment at one point or another. Then I think I've mentioned that I really like sew over it patterns. So I went a little bit crazy. I mean, I saved about 12 euros with the instructions, but I bought 5 sewing patterns. So basically, I got one pattern for free, and then one of the patterns was really, really cheap. But anyways, these are the ones that I've been looking at and really kind of want to try. So why not use the sale? First, there's this. This is the Anderson blouse. I really like how flowy it is, and I like how it's styled in the picture. So that's one. Then I've been looking at this heather dress for a long time, and I really kind of want to try it on and try sewing it, and it looks lovely, and it has pockets. I love pockets, as does just about everybody who talks about sewing. Then I bought this kimono jacket pattern. It looks very simple, and you can use prints with it, which I rarely do, but I think that this might be an easy way to try wearing prints. Then I bought, actually, I thought about this during this summer as well, but since I hadn't sewn a lot, I didn't try that yet, but this is also for next summer. So this is a play suit. The pattern is called Poppy. It's very kind of loose, and it looks like it might be something nice to wear during the summer when it's warm, or actually hopefully hot. But anyway, it looks like something that might be nice for summer wardrobe things. And then the last pattern I bought was their ultimate pencil skirt. These are all things that I would like to wear, but so far I haven't found them clothes like these anywhere, so I haven't worn them. So the way I think I will start out with this is that I will buy some relatively affordable fabric. I will try it, and then I will see if I like wearing them. And if I do, I will make more of them. So yeah, then I wanted to start out with the kimono jacket. So I also just yesterday or the day before, I went to Eurokangas and I bought some yarn for the kimono jacket. This is a very affordable viscose fabric, very flowy. It won't be very warm, but I figured that I can layer some long-sleeved jersey shirts underneath. And this print, of course, yes, but this is not the boldest print I saw. And I think this is, so the color is, I think you can say that it's a blue with on white, so yeah, there we go. Then let's get to the knitting content. So the first thing is the Magical Melodies socks. This pattern is the Loser's Lurgy. I'm doing them toe up because I'm hoping to use as much of this yarn as I can, so I can make the leg of the sock as long as I can, as long as the yarn will allow me to make them. So it's almost at the heel. There's a little bit of a pattern on top of the foot. I like the point that it comes towards the toe, and then there's some patterning to the side of this part. I really like working with this yarn. I like how the yarn color is coming up, and I really kind of feel like this will be a very special pair of socks. These are 2.75 millimeter needles. The pattern suggested 2.5 millimeters, but they were attached to a pair of socks, which I think I have shown you, but I will show them to you again because I've been working on them. But yeah, so yeah, and I think that this petrichor yarn's skein will be another pair of Magical Melodies socks. I think these are the Loser's Lurgy, and I think these will be the Dragonpox socks. And the other whip that I'm going to show you this time are the underneath the birch tree socks that I talked about maybe a few episodes ago. I've gotten a lot of work done in the last few days, I think. So I have some leaves ready, and I think I need to do one more pattern repeat, and then I may be ready to decrease to the toes. So there's not a lot of yarn left, so yeah. This yarn was supposed to be used during Tour de Sock. Didn't happen. So I think this will be quite well used up once I get these socks finished. So those are the two knitting projects I'm going to share with you this week, because those are the two that I've been working on lately. Then there's also a little bit of sewing content. So this is the third version of the plantain shirt. This is the first short-sleeved one, and the fabric is the same one that I did my first version of it. It's still a little bit stiff. I like the second version better because it's more of a flowy fabric. I'm sorry, this has been in the hamper for a bit, so it's all squinched up, but I really like this version better because of the fabric. Yeah, I do think that I might be trying a smaller size of this. This fits fine, but I do kind of like my jersey shirts to be a little bit more fitting. And especially with this heavier fabric, I feel like it makes me look a little bit wider. And even though I'm mainly okay with the way my body is right now, of course, it's not the best feeling if your shirt makes you feel like your shirt makes you look a little bit heavier. Maybe a little bit, yeah. Even though I'm okay, mostly, it's not the best feeling. So I might be trying to make a smaller, one size smaller, and see how that goes. I also feel like I might have the fabric to do the next version of it. I might be trying to do the elbow patches that the pattern has as an option. They might look fun. If I have the yardage, I might try long sleeves. Maybe, I don't know. And I've also started to work on the kimono jackets pattern, but not with the sewing. I've been cutting the I've been working with the paper and taping them up and doing the, I'm forgetting what the word is. But yeah, I'm just working with the paper side of things at the moment, so I have nothing sewing wise to show you about that. But I think the more I look at this pattern, I just need to find, once I have it done, I get to play around with it with what I have in my wardrobe right now. And I think that will kind of help me to kind of see what I'm going to be using that with. But yeah, I really like it. Like the yarn and the yarn. I like the fabric I've chosen to try. And I'm quite happy with where I'm with my crafting at the moment. I'm also really liking sewing right now, because even though I think knitting will probably always be my first love, I do like how much quicker you get your project done with sewing, because you don't have to do the fabric as well. You just buy the fabric and sew it up. So it's of course, everybody realizes why it's much faster. But I really like it. This week, as I said last time, I don't have any kind of stash busting to do, any kind of reporting to do on my stash busting at the moment, because, like I said, I was happy with the amount I got knit up before the expo, and since then I haven't got anything finished. I haven't used up any skeins of yarn completely, so I don't have anything kind of out. I'm not counting the 2 skeins that I bought at the expo. I'm not counting them into my stash, because that's just a reward for what I knit up. So as of this recording, I will be starting to tally up the score again. So I will be trying to avoid buying more yarn and focus on knitting things out of my stash. And once again, I think I'm sorry, my nose is itching. I'm sorry if I'm gonna sneeze, but I will be aiming for 1 kilogram out, so that the balance is 1 kilogram out. The less I buy yarn, the more quicker I will get to that. So that's what I'll be aiming for, and then I will reward myself with probably yarn again. But that's the way you do it. And I'm also really thinking that I will be trying to do some sort of a vlogmas. If I manage to do that, I think the regular podcast will take a short hiatus. But I thought that I would try to record something every day, and then maybe upload it to YouTube once a week. So they will be kind of a week in the life of me. Hooray! I really don't feel like my general everyday life is very exciting, but just kind of trying to figure out that maybe getting some Christmassy content and once a week uploading it to you. And of course that will have all of my crafty content, so I don't feel like there's a need for your regular podcast episodes. I'm not sure if I'm going to be naming them as Vlogmas episodes, Vlogmas videos, or maybe doing something like Herwoodian crafter episode, such and such vlog week 1 or something like that. I'm not sure. I'll see what happens. But yeah, I think that's about all I have this time around. I'm really cutting it close with how I think my kid will probably be waking up quite soon, so I'll say my thanks. Thank you so much for joining me this time, spending your time with me. If you like this episode, maybe subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Maybe like this video. But anyways, for now, I hope you have a very lovely time crafting in the coming few weeks. Thank you so much. Bye bye.